I have been asked to give my thoughts on what Ebony K. Williams said about Black women getting their degrees and chasing their MRS degree. And since this is part of the discourse that we're having in the community, along with Black women, I guess I have to tackle it. So, first, let's listen to what she says.
To be said out loud is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for Black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger Black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated Black men is so low when compared to Black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 Black women students for every 1 Black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young Black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of Black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half.
Listening to Ebony K. Williams engage in red pill talking points and boy math is exasperating. Telling women about their desirability decreasing is basically what the red pill talking points do. Telling women to get married out of college is what evangelicals tell girls to do. And so, yes, I am exasperated. And this auntie advice that she's giving as a 40-year-old single woman who doesn't even have kids is exasperating. And it's just giving the red pillars fuel. Continuing to attach women's market value to our fertility is it's just putting a dollar sign on our wombs, and that is it. And it is even silly to even engage in the boy math of pursuing these men in college when from Ebony K. Williams' mouth, there are 7 Black women for every 1 Black male. So even if these people wanted to get married, even if every single Black man that was in college at that particular time and was desirable and attractive and had the same values, even if that were true, the math is not mathing. She is engaging in boy math right now. And all demographics of women right now are out enrolling the men in their particular race or age or culture or whatever. All women are outnumbering and out enrolling men in college. So even if Black women were to start dating out and engage in trying to find a man while in school, there's still limited options. So continuing down this path is just to create a desperation in women. And I don't know why she did this. Our brains are not even fully formed until we're 25. So that means that we are completely different people in our 20s than we are in our 30s. So that means that life experiences help to develop our brain. It helps to learn who you are after college before you decide on who you're going to attach yourself to for the rest of your life. So this auntie advice is absolutely atrocious, because even if a woman picks one of the very few men that are on campus to live the rest of their life with, who they are in college is going to significantly change. Now, the divorce rate after 10 years is almost 50% for people who married by 18. So that's about 50%. And then it's about 25% for people that got married after the age of 25, after your brain is fully formed. Now, for the people that got married between the ages of 20 and 25, while your brain is still forming, is over 50%, 50 to 60% on that one as well. So this is ridiculous advice because the majority of people that get married young will probably end in marriage. In divorce. Now, getting married is not the problem, but you need to know yourself. And knowing yourself means giving yourself the time to have some life experiences. Now, just so y'all know, just so you ladies know, the average age of first time marriage is still close to 30%. 30 years old right now. The birth rate is on a decline for 20 some odd year olds. So women are not listening to auntie advice like this. We're not listening to it. So keep that in mind. Don't rush out and feel desperate because people like this and red pill talking points and evangelical talking points. Don't do it because women are already starting to get married later. And there's typically only a 2-year age gap between the men and women for their first year, their first time marriage. So even men, their first time marriage right now is about 30 years old. So keep that in mind. Don't be so pressed and don't fall for these talking points. Now, Eboni K. Williams must have gotten some pushback because she is single and childless and she's 40 because she had another video. And in that video, which I will play, she said, talking about Black women, they want to be married. She's talking about Black women want to be married and we want to be married to Black men. And she said, most of us do. I just want us to all understand that people like Eboni K. Williams, she has a big platform. She does talk to people. But what I am seeing in the discourse is that women want to get married later if they want to get married at all. And the child-free movement is a big movement. Single by choice is a big movement. So women are doing what they want, and there are a whole lot of different ways of being and living that is not these old time talking points. Now I'm going to give you the rest of what she said, and I'm not coming in on the back end. Make sure to like, comment, and share.
This advice, most women, even the most educated, high-earning ones, they want to be married, and they do want to have children in a more conventional way than I have chosen. And that is why I am talking to those women in particular, and I am targeting this advice to women that are young enough to do something about it on the front end. No way and no how do I believe that Black women's worth is dependent on being married or pushing out some man's big-headed baby. Of course, we have tremendous value in this world beyond our roles as wives and mother, and only somebody very ignorant to my full body of work or otherwise disingenuous would come to any other conclusion. Now, of course, women can still find love and yes, even get married after college or after 40, or I'm gonna mess y'all up, after 60. And of course, Black women can be mothers in a litany of ways, including with partners they meet later in life, single mothers by choice, and so on and so on. And finally, of course, Black women can partner and marry non-Black men or Black men with different levels of education. And still I stand by what I said. Most educated Black women in this country desire to marry educated Black men. And they also want to have children under the construct of that marriage. And the most opportune time to set up that structure is when you are surrounded by Black men that are also pursuing their education. Last point. This is all about putting Black women in best position to create that lifestyle. And nothing I'm saying is guaranteeing that y'all will stay married or even be happy, because nothing can guarantee such a thing. I'm only saying out loud what pockets of Black elite communities have passed down generationally for years. And I respect that it's hard to hear and know you don't have to agree. But I am happy that we, as educated Black women, are hearing each other, are seeing each other, and we're having the conversation.